Western International High School. Welcome to our first year of having AP World History. This is Mr. Cruz, and I'm looking forward to the semester. I'm really pumped up about this class. I've been to some excellent training sessions over the summer, and I think we're up to the challenge. And a lot of the colleagues I had, classmates, I had veteran AP World History teachers were telling me this is a good year to come in. There's a lot of changes that we're going to talk about, but they said it's a good year to be a newbie. So I haven't been a newbie in a long time. I'm a veteran teacher, but this is my first time teaching AP World, so it should be fun. I think we're going to learn a lot. Okay, some things to keep in mind before we start the school year. Last year, if you had me for World History Honors, if you had me for U.S. History in the past, you know I rarely use a textbook. I think last year we used the book once when I took a day off to go to opening day. I was sick. And when you guys had a sub, I assigned an assignment out of the book. I think that was the only day out of the year. This is going to be very different. I'm not going to be on my, lecturing as much with the anecdotal stories, books from home and all that. We're really going to follow a book, a textbook, and we're going to follow what the College Board is laying down. They're laying down, we're picking up. And we kind of answer the College Board. I mean us, me too, the teacher. So we have to learn what they are telling us is going to be covered on your AP World History Modern exam. So you're going to be doing a lot of projects. So before you start making fun of my video, keep in mind you're going to be making a video too. Let's see you do better. I hope you do. Because you learn when you teach, right? I'm a big believer in that. So you're not just going to be sitting there all year listening to me talk, right? You're going to be doing some digging, some research, and you are going to teach. What I've been learning over the summer while I do my research, my trainer at Oakland University told me about this, as well as the teachers that were in that class, my classmates. A lot of knowledge in there. We have to be careful with what resources we're using when we go over DBQs. The content, we'll talk about content later. I got you on content. But this DBQ stuff, the written essays, the responses, we got to know what the rules are. So we kind of have an advantage being newbies. We don't have to unlearn a bunch of stuff. But while you're making your videos, while you're doing your research papers, while I'm making my videos, we all have to be careful that we're not using or giving outdated information. First time you try anything, you're guaranteed to make mistakes. So just get over that right now. I'm going to do the best I can, but guess what? I'm going to make mistakes, and you're going to make mistakes. That's all right. We'll figure it out, and we'll move forward. But just be careful with anything prior to 2019 as far as rules, how to do a DBQ. On a side note, just so I can contradict myself immediately, one of my classmates at the training session, a veteran teacher of AP World, said if you can do it the old way, you can do it the new way. And what she meant by that is it seems like it's a little easier now than it was. So good for us. So if we do things the old way, or if we accidentally use some old rules with, writing a DBQ, might not be the worst thing in the world, but let's try to be aware of how we're scoring it now for 2020. You might be aware of the drama that went down over the summer with AP World Modern. We're not going to get into that right now. We'll talk about it in class. Interesting stuff. But let's just focus on this video for DBQs. So what I want to do is, my idea is this. I want to create a hybrid rubric for you for DBQs. It's going to have the College Board's rubric, but then you're going to have different options on how to learn this stuff. I'm going to break it down by category. So you're going to have my intro video. My friend and colleague, Mr. Masters, we both are teachers at Schoolcraft College, about 20 minutes away. We've been teaching undergrads for a long time. He's an excellent instructor. He's really good at podcasts. He's run a couple of his own podcasts. So in this hybrid rubric, you're going to have options. My video, his podcast. I'm hoping to add your video to the rubric too. So we'll have student videos. I'm going to bring in other teachers to chime in on this rubric. So if you're having trouble with a thesis or what the heck is contextualization, you have options on how to learn this stuff. And of course, there's going to be plenty of reading material. So hopefully, you're watching this video, you have my hybrid rubric that I am working on for you. So this is the CED. Go here. The course and exam description. So if you hear me say CED or we reference CED, this is what we're talking about. At my AP World History training, we were given these binders. This is from the College Board. So this isn't like one of your regular classes where this teacher might teach you, test you on this teacher might test you on that. We all answer the College Board. This is what we're going to follow. So this is an introduction to DBQs. You might not even know what DBQ is. It's fine. You might not completely understand everything we talk about in this video. That's okay too. This video might make more sense once we practice a few weeks in class, then you come back to it, and the advice you get here may make more sense. But I definitely want to make sure we're all literally on the same page as the College Board. So the document-based question presents students with 7 documents offering various perspectives on a historical development or process. The question requires students to do the following. Respond to the prompt with a historically defensible thesis or claim that establishes a line of reasoning. I'll go over a line of reasoning a little more in the next video where we focus on the thesis. Describe a broader historical context relevant to the prompt. You're going to hear me say this 1,000 times this semester. Use the provided documents to support an argument in response to the prompt. Support an argument, not copying. Use historical evidence beyond the documents relevant to an argument about the prompt. Okay, there's 7 documents. A way to score some of these points is by using document 8. What the heck is document 8? I just told you there's 7 documents. Document 8's right here. It's in your head, between your ears. Okay, your brain's document 8. Use it. Content. If you had me last year for world history, you've gotten some of this content already, and we're just going to hit a little harder this year. And we're actually going to have a textbook that we're going to use, and it's going to be relevant. Okay, for at least 3 documents, explain how or why the document's point of view, POV, purpose, historical situation, and or audience is relevant to an argument. Keep hearing this word argument, right? No one's asking you to just copy or just go off on tangents. Demonstrate a complex understanding of the historical development that is the focus of the prompt, using evidence to corroborate, qualify, or modify an argument that addresses the question. The topic of the document-based question will include historical developments or processes between the years 1450 and 2001. So if you notice already, compared to last year's videos, this one's very different. I am adhering to a text. I am adhering to these rules from the College Board, these rubrics, and we all need to do that. So just in case you've never seen a DBQ, and if you haven't, it's fine. We're gonna go over this. We're gonna do some screwing this up. And when you're doing your research projects, when you guys are gonna make videos, you're gonna be in the role of a teacher. I'm gonna be sharing some of the sources I've been using. This is something on your interwebs here. Go to your Google machine. I really like this guy's webpage, Freemanpedia. So I'm gonna be throwing out some recommended sources for you. And we're all different. I had teachers in high school and college. One teacher, students loved this teacher, great teacher. For me, didn't work. I like the way this other teacher explained things. As long as you learn it, it doesn't matter how you learn it. So that's why I'm giving you options. My video, Mr. Masters' podcast, and these other sources. There's a lot of veteran AP World History teachers that have put some great material on the internet. So here is a sample of what a DBQ looks like. You'll have your directions. I'm going to go over this with you in the next video. For right now, I just want you to see what it looks like. So here's your prompt. Question 1. Using the documents and your knowledge of world history, compare industrialization in Japan and Russia between 1850 and 1914. And then you go, oh, Tsar Nicholas II. I think my world history taught me about him last year. Should be some prior knowledge. Anyway, there's document 1, document 2, document 3, document 4, document 5, and document 6, and finally document 7. So these are the documents you're going to use. So this is what it's going to look like. Your DBQ. So let me get back here. Okay, so from the College Board, from the CED, except where otherwise noted, each point of the rubric is earned independently. For instance, a student could earn a point for evidence beyond the documents without earning a point for a thesis or claim. It's good to know, but we kind of want to get all these points, right? Accuracy. The components of this rubric each require that students demonstrate historically defensible content knowledge. I got you on the content. Just make sure you're doing your readings. Make sure you're doing what I ask in class and on your assignments. Given the timed nature of the exam, a response may contain errors that do not detract from its overall quality, as long as the historical content used to advance the argument is accurate. Clarity. Exam essays should be considered first drafts and thus may contain grammatical errors. Those errors will not be counted against a student unless they obscure the successful demonstration of the content knowledge skills and reasoning process described in the rubrics. So I'm going to give you a link to this, but I just want to go over it in this introductory video. Let's all literally get on the same page. Now, besides the great training I went to over the summer, I found a great resource for AP Modern. So when you're looking at your sources, there's not a whole lot yet, but AP World History is now AP Modern World History. If you see modern in there, you know it's recent. And the other thing on the Facebook page I find interesting, even veteran teachers, I'm a newbie at AP World History, but even they're kind of asking questions. There is some confusion on some of this stuff. The last thing a teacher wants to do is give their students bad information. So teachers are trying to make sure that they understand, we need to understand what's going on with the College Board, what's going on with these changes. So we all have to, be here for each other. If I make a mistake, you make a mistake. Let's, make sure we point that out, make sure we know what's going on. Okay, so thesis. Sort the documents into groups. Write a thesis paragraph that addresses the prompt and those groupings. And this book, Mastering AP Modern World History, had a great quote at the top on page 71. And he said, it's like a matching game that you played as a kid. Take those documents and group them together. Now, it seems that you used to get a point for grouping. This year, for AP Modern World History, you don't get a point for grouping. But what some of my colleagues told me in this class I took, they said there's still value to grouping your documents. So even though you don't get a point for grouping, they're still going to teach their students to do it. And it made sense to me, so we're going to go with that. Context paragraph. What is the larger picture of history in which the prompt is situated that led to the prompt? So it gives you an outline here on page 71, and I'm going to try to get this book for us. So I want all of you to have a copy of this book. I really like it. Look at the first group of matching documents. Create a topic sentence that makes an argument of causation, comparison, or change over time. We'll talk about those later. Explain how each document relates to the topic sentence. Include point of view analysis for documents that you used in the paragraph. May include outside knowledge, right? Don't forget document 8, your brain. Then body paragraph 2 matches up with the second group of matching documents. And if you have a third group, have body paragraph 3. Again, I'm not asking you to master this stuff just because I put it on a PowerPoint and made you a quick little video. This video is just a very general introduction that I want us to have kind of a launching pad here, a foundation to begin our class in this hybrid rubric. Okay, another part of this book I really liked was the do's and the don'ts. Do summarize each document. Do connect each document summary to an argument, topic, sentence, and use of key prompt. Okay, in your brain, you should be going, man, I keep seeing this thing about argument, right? Nowhere is it telling you to copy the prompt. Argument. Okay, do refer to the documents by author or title and number. Do use all 7 documents to support your argument. You may omit one, but that's a risk. You're sandbagging. Use all 7, that way you're covered. If you make one mistake, you still got the 6 that you need. If you only do 6, you make a mistake, now you could lose the point. Do explain the significance of author's point of view, purpose, documents historical situation, and or audience for at least 3 documents in the body paragraph, and that's crucial. And again, this is going to be more valuable to you. After we practice about 10 DBQs, you might find this video a little more informative than you do now, but it's all right. Do use outside information. Don't quote the document. Don't lump documents together. Document 3 and 4 both talk about, don't do that. Don't write a laundry list where you summarize each document in order. Document 1 is about blah, blah, blah. Document 2 is about blah, blah, blah. Don't do that. Don't write like that. Don't ignore or misrepresent pictures or graphs. Making stuff up will not get you credit for the document. Don't forget a document. You may omit one document, but it is a risk. Because if you make one mistake and omit one, you will not receive a fairly easy point. Don't use social, political, economic, or cultural as categories. Don't write your point of view statements at the end of the essay. Okay, now this, if you want to hit pause and read this, I'd highly recommend it. This is just another part of this book I really liked, and I thought was informative. And you're going to see some overlap. You're going to see the same topics taught to you in different ways. And, that's a good thing. So thesis, historical context, topic sentences, complex understanding, using the documents, author's point of view, relevant, specific, historical evidence, beyond that found in the documents. Hit pause, read this over. Well, we're going to break all these down. So this hybrid rubric that we're making, you're going to have my video, we have Mr. Masters on his podcast, and we're going to break this stuff down for you. And, I still think no matter how good we try to do on these videos, I still think practicing in class and you making your video, you learn the most when you teach. That's really going to help bring this together. But I hope you found this video beneficial. This was video 1, Introduction to DBQs on our hybrid rubric. Next one will be part 2, the thesis. All right, see you later.